At what point in his routine did you look into this and say, okay, things are not going his way?
Yeah. Actually, when he stepped onto the ice and did his little pre-skating routine and then hit his opening pose, he took a big deep breath, which is something that I do before I compete. And I was like, okay, he's got this. First jump, amazing quad flip, super clean, super nice, and thought the rest of the routine would keep going that way. But I did see that in his 6-minute warm-up, he did not attempt a quad axel, which is the jump that he's most known for. And as he was prepping into it, he looked a little tight, a little hesitant walking into that or pulling into the quad axel, and he popped it. And after that, I was like, okay, he definitely has the ability to make a couple of mistakes and still come across as first. But then after he popped his quad loop and then fell in his quad lutz, that was, for me, that was sort of what lost him the gold. He still had the chance to come back and make a medal perhaps, but it just kept going downhill from there.
If you could just add some context to this, a guy that had so many expectations, a guy who's known for tricks that were previously thought to be impossible. Now, not even just missing the podium, but not even sniffing the podium, coming in eighth. How would you put that into context for people that might not have a whole lot of history or understanding about the sport of figure skating?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone in skating, even outside of skating, thought that he was going to win, and it would be like a walk in the park for him.
Yeah.
Realistically, the program that he set out to do would have won, and if he skated the program that he expected to do clean, he could have been like 10th or 15th in the short and still won the event. So the program that he was doing was very challenging. But as a result of that, high risk, high reward, still that risk is there. And I know for a fact that he's able to do this program, but once you're there, all the lights are on you, all the eyes are on you. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of doubt. It's very easy for doubt to creep in. It's very easy for thoughts to sort of letting the prefrontal cortex take over and having to think about each element rather than let it become autonomous and entering that sort of flow state. And I think that's something that we saw that night.
I keep going back to Nathan, like the concept of if you're a quarterback in the NFL and you throw 4 picks and have the worst game of your life, 6 days later, you're back on the field and boom, you get to shake it off. He won't have this opportunity for at least in 4 years. So where is the line between fueling somebody to come back and do it better the next time versus just letting that voice in your head get louder and louder and louder because it's so long before you get this opportunity again?
Totally. He has the opportunity to come back at the World Championships, which is in, I believe, middle of March, end of March. So he definitely has the chance to come back, redeem his skate. Obviously, as a skater, World Championships is very, very important, and you really desire to have the best skates that you can at the World Championships. But the Olympics is obviously a little bit of a different scenario, and so you really want to, do the best that you can there. But having had this experience now, I think he definitely will be able to go into the next Olympics with a lot more perspective. And I think this time to reflect and think of all the things that he did right, all the things that he did wrong, what he can improve on. As at the end of the day, there's no perfect skate. There's also not the worst skate ever. There's always something positive to take away from every single skate. And I think that's something that he will have to do, and he certainly will do heading into the next Olympics. There's going to be some changes, I think, to my understanding in skating, so we'll see how that plays out. But it will be interesting to see how he learns from this event.
Yeah, obviously, so much of sport is mental, but especially individual subjective sports are so incredibly mental. When you talk about gymnastics, figure skating, diving, so easy to get into your head. Do you think some of the blunders that we saw from Ilia in that performance were mental, just kind of the cause of being a first-time Olympian and having all of that pressure, or is there something maybe more going on there beneath the surface?
Mhm. I think strategy plays a role in all of this, but strategy does not only come down to how hard you train, how well do you recover. It also comes in with experience, frankly, and being able to understand when I'm in that moment, how can I prepare myself? How can I train for that moment that I'll feel? It's not only just a physical thing, there's always this sensation of feeling. That was something that really helped me as I was preparing for my 22 games. I worked with a really great mental coach, a sports psychologist, and he really helped me frame skating and the preparation for skating as a sensation. I have to feel what I'm feeling. What do my clothes feel like? What do the sounds feel like? What's the taste in my mouth as I'm doing these elements? And these sensations will help me lock in on the best thing that I did. So he would always always wanted me to think back during the day. What was the best thing that happened to you today? It doesn't have to be the best jump or whatever, but the best thing, whatever it is, make you feel the best. And that will allow me to visualize those moments. But when the time comes and the pressure is the greatest, I can reflect back on what feels the best, and it allows me to be able to enter that flow state without trying too hard.
It's interesting to me, Nathan, because I had the chance in 2016 to be around the Summer Olympic team and be at the Team USA house a bunch. And one thing that really surprised me is how close Olympians become in this process. So we've got this Winter Olympics going on right now where we've seen several of the favorites and stars not necessarily have their best moment in their biggest moment. How much does everybody else involved in Team USA start to feel that or hear that or sort of impact them mentally?
Yeah. I mean, it's a great community, and the support is always there. And I think actually the positive takeaway is that no matter what, your value isn't tied to winning a gold medal. Your value is tied to how you stand up after an event, whether it's a win or whether it's a loss. How do you support your community? And I think the athletes feel supported. And I think that's something that we need to continue doing, continue reminding the athletes that, we're all people, we're all doing this. This is all these sports that we're doing is our love. And we just gotta, try to uplift everyone around us so that US collectively can do the best that they can.
And it does feel, at least looking at some of the commentary on social media, that Ilia Malinin has such a massive support group around him, not just in the US, but globally as figure skating fans. So I know we'll all be rooting for his comeback in 2030 and the next Winter Olympics. But I do want to look at what's ahead. The pairs free competition awaits. And I think that the theme of this year's Olympics has just been expect the unexpected. So with that in mind, what can we expect from the pairs free competition?
Yeah. I mean, after the short program, we already have placements that seem slightly unexpected. I think the Japanese team were favorites heading into this event, though they're definitely still in contention for the gold. They have a great free program ahead of them, and I think that they have the opportunity now to learn exactly, after what happened in the short program. And the mistake that they made was honestly something that they shouldn't have made, and it's a very generally consistent element for them. So for them to bobble that, I think it's a good reflection to stay focused, stay on top of things throughout the entire program. It's not over till it's over kind of mentality. The US definitely have a chance to maintain this top 10 position, so I'm looking forward to them putting down great skates.
The Blade Angels get a crack at the women's short on Tuesday. I just love the nickname. I'm in on this. First and foremost, what do you expect from the Blade Angels, but also best nickname in the Olympics right now, right?
Truly.
Totally. I mean, absolutely. No, I love the camaraderie. I love the friendship that they have going on. It's really heartwarming, and I'm happy that they're all there to support each other. The experience should be a positive one. It should, no matter what, it should be one that you can look back on and really enjoy. So I'm glad they have each other's back and really supporting each other through this all. They have the opportunity to do something incredible and get multiple medals or at least one medal on the through the end of the event. So I'm really excited to see them to put their best selves out there. But again, as we've been talking about through all of this, it's not really that we're here. It's not that these athletes are here at the Olympics only to medal. They're here to also have a great experience, to learn, to continue growing and show the world the best of themselves. And so, I hope that their focus can be on doing the things that are controllable, doing the things that are in there, that they're able to do, that they've practiced a million times, that they know for sure that they can do. And I'm excited to see it.
Oh, I am too. And I think we look at the Blade Angels as a trio, right? We kind of group them all together, rightfully so. They've been such a fun trio to watch, just the relationships unfold on and off the ice. But how would you kind of describe each of their styles individually? What can we expect from those three as individuals?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Alyssa is just full of joy. She's full of life. She came back after the last Olympics, she retired and she wasn't even, she didn't even want to continue skating, but had this, rejuvenation for figure skating and this joy that is just so palpable. It's been so fun to be able to watch her have her comeback. She's just the nicest person. And Amber is this incredibly powerful skater, has the triple axel, which sets her apart from the group technically, and has, really grown through the years. Athletes really put their whole life into it, and I know for a fact that Amber has gone through so many ups and downs to get to this point. So it's really, really incredible to see all that she's overcome to be able to get here. And Isabeau as well, she's this clean, beautiful skater that throughout the years has really put her mark on the sport. And I think through this all, we sometimes perhaps the commentary is not necessarily so much about her, but I think that she is absolutely in the running to be the best of the team as well. And just really exciting to see all three of them be just such phenomenal skaters. And, the pressure is not on them in any sense. The pressure is all just to enjoy the moment the best that they can.
All right. You've talked a little bit about, what the experience is like and that it's more than just the Olympics. It's about a great experience. Well, for you, covering, this year not competing. You're there when you're not just working. And I realize figure skating takes up all your time, but like, what's the one event that Nathan Chen looks at and says, "Oh my God, I have to go see that one event in person"? Like, what's the thing that you just absolutely gravitating to?
Totally. No, I've been following hockey for a little bit of time. I grew up in Utah, so I'm glad that we just got the Utah Mammoth. Clayton Keller is part of the team, so that's really cool to be able to see that he's on the hockey team. So unfortunately, I'll be leaving before the gold medal game, but I'm presuming that it'll be USA Canada, so that'll be a really great game to watch. But I'll catch that on TV.
And I can't wait to hear about all of your Milan adventures and memories. We will talk with you on Wednesday, though, so I know we'll have plenty of time to talk about your, off work duties and all of the fun things that you've been doing. But when we do talk to you on Wednesday, if you want to look into your crystal ball, what do you think will be the biggest story in figure skating over the next couple of days?
I think Ilia will certainly be someone that they'll talk about for a little bit, but I also know that he has so much potential, and I think he'll be someone to, no matter what, will be someone to look at for the next four. Over the next, competitions, we still have the pairs event tonight, so that will be a medal match. So we'll see the results of that, and then the women will definitely be, I think, highlights of the entire Olympics for figure skating, to see who is able to just really put out the skates that they are hoping to have. And of course, Kaori Sakamoto from Japan has been a name that's been well recognized in figure skating over the past 4 years, and I hope that she'll be able to have her moment on Olympic ice. She's had great skates in the past Olympics, but I think this is another great opportunity for her to show off the work that she's putting in. And then, of course, our Blade Angels will certainly be a team to look out for over the next couple days.